All right, y'all go to my page.
I'm there. Yo, what constitutes
Refresh.
what constitutes a strong black woman? 4 seconds.
Y'all go to my page. Oh shit, I'm loud.
Oh, snap. Waiting for it.
All right, we're about to go live. What's up, peoples? Let's join up a little bit. That was a weak ass intro. It's a lag. It's a lag. You see it. What's going on, everybody? Robbie Day here. We are here. What do you think? Was that a what? Huh? What's that? So what? Yeah, you go. You talk.
No, I'm saying.
Huh? Yeah. You. That's all you. It is. What's up, guys? Sorry for the technical difficulties here. Shelton's working my last motherfucking nerve with this motherfucker. So yeah, so listen, this is Fighting Words with Coach Solo and Shelton Tucker. Let me put everybody in the view here. All right. We got Shelton to our left and Coach Solo to the right. On my screen anyway.
What's good? What's good?
Yeah. What's going on? Yeah, Shelton, pull that mic to your face more close. I mean, I can't be saying that too often. You know what I'm saying?
Pause.
Yeah, exactly. Pause. So yeah, peoples. We have hopefully an inspiring show for you guys tonight. We will be talking about some of our male perspectives of what a strong black woman is, what our perspectives of a high value woman would be, and the importance of the relationship between men and women, mothers and fathers, and how that goes. And because it's our show, it's going to be our male perspective. So we might be showing maybe a bit of some unflattering things that we might not like about what women do, but they're only skits or videos or whatever we're posting and we're talking about. So we don't want the viewers to get take anything too personal. But I just don't think that, not enough. We don't have a voice enough in our communities as far as black men, strong black men that's doing something in the community. Not perfect by any means, but we have a voice, and that's what Fighting Words is all about, right, fellas?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So let's get right down to it. The first topic that we'll be discussing is what we consider a strong black woman or a woman of high value. Shelton, take it away.
Well, first of all, I want to be clear. This topic that we're talking about is not just we're speaking from a male perspective, but I also want the women to know that they have a voice as well. Um, I believe it's important for both sides to give their perspectives on what they think, what constitutes a strong black woman, how they see a strong black woman, and high value, whatever that. I believe things like that are in the eye of the beholder. Um, some people see high value as beauty attributes, certain behavior, a certain financial status, social status, and things of that sort. So I think everyone has their own opinion. Um, there's a lot of things that constitute, in my opinion, strong black women, but everyone has their own opinion on it. Um, I say just on the top of my head, some of the things. Uh, I see perseverance, uh, strong family values, far as family connections, the children, helping raise the children, and things of that sort, and just overall how they present themselves, always present themselves in a positive light. There's just so many things you can say, and there's so many different opinions on what constitutes a strong black woman. So, um, what would you say? What are some of the things that you believe will constitute a strong black woman? Yeah, and from your perspective.
You asking me?
Yeah.
This is your show.
I know.
You
I just wanna
asking me? Like
No, I want to go around the table and everybody.
this y'all. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead,
Absolutely.
go ahead, Solo. You know what I'm
So
saying?
to me, like what a strong black woman to me is, man, is like my standard, my bar is not necessarily that high. Like mine is
Mhm.
is a woman that won't leave me.
Oh wow. Okay.
You understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like all the women that I loved in my life left. You know what I mean? My mom left. My first kid's mom left. My first wife left. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So to me, high value and who you are to me is one that can put up with my shit.
Being able to rock with you, like
that rock with me, man. If you rock with me, man, like and listen, I'm hard to deal with. I'm a problem to deal with, man, because the way I grew up, where I'm from, my experiences.
Wow.
So I'm kind of set,
right,
in my mindset. You know what I mean? So, and my wife, man, like my wife is strong to me. And she put up with my shit. And when I say put up with my shit, it ain't like I'm going out there cheating.
Yeah.
I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about she put up with my character.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
My character flaws.
You know what I mean? Like my character, like
yeah.
Like if you could put up with my character, because I'm a dick. You understand what I'm saying? Because I like what I like. I want what I want.
Hey, honesty is the best. You honest. That's what's up.
So a strong black woman is, in my situation, is somebody that can put up with my shit, man. Because you understand what I'm saying? Like
that's what it is.
You gotta put up with my shit, yo. And I told my wife that before we got married. I was like, yo,
You a handful.
I'm a handful, man. and I'm coming from another world. Like I call worlds different.
Right.
Like I was in the prison world. I lived in that world. I lived in the hood world. I lived in the homeless world.
Right.
And now I'm living in this civilized world.
Right.
So the rules are different.
Right.
Everything that I learned and those other worlds don't work in this world. So so a strong black woman is somebody that's gonna bring a nigga like me structure.
Okay.
My wife bring me structure, so she's strong to me.
So basically, in your perspective of a valuable woman is somebody that can kind of put up with you and
absolutely. And when I say put up with me, I mean like
kind of put up with your character flaws,
my character, and fight me on it. Like don't
keep you in check.
Don't be intimidated.
So you're not a tyrant. You're not a tyrant.
Nah. Don't.
You know what I'm saying? You got to make sure people want to know.
I will fight to the end about my point.
Right.
However, I don't want you to shy away from saying, nah, nigga.
Right.
You know what I mean? So even if I don't go for it right there, you give me something to go back and think about. I'm like, damn, man.
Right.
How the fuck she say that shit?
Yeah.
Now I'm thinking about it.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it brings
another other perspective that you need to see.
And I respect her perspectives.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Again, like I said, it depends on everybody's perspective. It's different. Like for one, speaking of some of the things he's talking about, a woman being able to deal with him and that being strong woman makes a woman high value. I also believe that what constitutes a strong woman and a high value woman is also a woman that knows her value, and that's important too. A woman that knows her value, because sometimes as men, as he said, we're all raised in different ways. Some of us have different values as far as women should be treated and things of that sort. A lot of us learn off the cuff. A lot of us learned, some of us learned about from the things that we see in our neighborhood. So that's part of the reason why some of us grow up with these, these jaded aspects of relationship. For instance, not saying for instance as in your aspect, your introspect was jaded, but for instance when he said about when he fight with his wife and he expects us to give him some pushback, to be strength there. That's a perspective, and there's nothing wrong with that perspective. But there's also some women that may see fighting as a negative aspect of the relationship. You know what I mean? And all women is different.
I didn't say fight. Did I say fight?
No. I don't mean fighting like. Oh. No. I'm talking about like you said, your fight to the end for your point.
Yeah.
I mean. Depending on
and when I say that, I mean I stand on what I say. Like you have to really come with some real, like for me to be like, all right.
The reason I brought that up because honestly, for me, that has been at times a flaw in a sense, because being a person, I understand that that strong-minded feeling and fighting your point, and sometimes me myself, I depending on who it's talking to, I've been characterized as argumentative and things like that. So because myself, I'm a debater. I'm a natural debater. I don't like being misunderstood. I like to get my point across. So sometimes that leads me into unnecessary fights at times. So I always have to try to manage that. I always have to try to know the difference between, where a fight should be and where not. So just to wrap that up in that sense, a woman knowing her value, knowing what she should put up with, knowing what she's worth, knowing how a man should treat her. I think that constitutes a strong woman as well.
Okay, so yeah, we've experienced strong black women all our lives. We've seen them. We know what they look like. We know how they operate. A lot of the women that we grew up with were strong black women just by how they kind of like had to raise children when the dad wasn't in no condition to do it. How they had to kind of make a dollar out of 15 cents, kind of like how Pac said it, right? So we know our race of black women are strong, but us as black men, so how women have bad experiences with men and fathers and things like that. A lot of black women's trauma come from men, right? Come from how we treated them, how we raised our kids or lack thereof, how we were present, right? And this is like more prior generations. It's not as prevalent now, right? But if I were to be honest as a black man, most of my trauma in life came from black women. The same applies to the other side, right? So um, I kind of attribute that to just the experience of having to deal with the other sex. So, in other words, on Facebook, I'll say a lot of shit about black women. Why am I talking about black women when I talk shit about black women? Because that's the only experience I've had, right? So when I say this, that, and the third, black women or need to give fathers access to the kids and, say certain nuances about negative things about black women. Oh, you hate black women. I don't hate black women. That's just the experience that I've been.
No, I get that a lot.
Right? You get that a lot, but I'm not dating white women. I don't know what the hell their nuances is, and I don't really give a fuck. Right?
And they quick to say you can't speak on black women. Like,
yeah, that's all I dealt with. My mother was a black woman, right? She's part of the trauma that I had.
On the
right?
topics, you know what I mean? Because some,
well, we know it's a double standard with women. Women,
well,
we know that. I mean,
I ain't gonna say
they're allowed it. No, they're allowed. Look, our black women, when it comes to society, are the loudest people in the room who says black men ain't shit.
Yeah.
so.
They're the loudest people in the room to say that, and to a certain degree, they have a point. To a certain degree, they have a point. But
I'm not.
No. Hold on, because I'm trying to. I'm trying to get somewhere. To a certain degree, they have a point. You know why? Because they ain't shit either. You understand what I'm saying? No. Let's be honest. Everybody got their flaws.
Clarify, sir. What do you mean when you say they're not shit? What do you mean?
The negative shit about black men might not be the same negative shit about black women, but black women still have other negative shit. In other words, none of our hands are clean in this.
So
that's my point. I mean,
like he said with his wife, or not his wife, excuse me, a woman, period. He says that a strong black woman is a woman that would not leave, right? If we, as you know, the different genders of black folk, if we don't communicate, I'm trying to figure out the best way to put it. If we don't find out, the best ways for us to, communicate these different issues that we see within each other, how are we gonna correct these things? For one, like for instance, when you said you speak about black women because and we deal with black women, it's more the same reason why they speak about us.
Exactly.
I mean, a lot of their experiences are with black men. So being that
but we don't say they hate black men.
No, true indeed. But
that's the point I'm trying to make.
That he sees a strong black woman as a woman that won't leave him. As a whole, do you see black women as a whole with a strength for putting up with some of the things that us black men bring to the table? You said you admit we ain't shit. So for the black women that do stand by us and try to help us, support us and things of that sort, would you say that constitutes them as strong women?
But clarify what the men ain't shit mean.
Yeah, what does that mean? I need you a little bit clarity.
Like when you say men ain't shit, what does that mean?
You got to ask the women. There's different.
So that's a funny question to me.
Different reasons.
That's a funny question to me.
What does that
because we know we were lacking in certain areas, and in other words, there's a couple of generations of children that didn't have any fathers.
Yeah, but see, that's what I'm saying. I'm talking about character. Like if you know my character, there's a lot of things you won't accuse me of doing. If you know me, if you know how I'm gonna respond, if you know certain things that I'm gonna do and how I'm gonna do it, like like you can't do it if you know that's how I'm gonna respond. Like, and I'm not even talking about some abusive shit. I ain't talking about that.
No. Yeah.
We're not.
Yeah.
We're talking about
No, I look.
like if you know I don't like a certain kind of juice and you bring it home, like you know what I'm saying? Like I'm talking about little bullshit like that. I ain't talking about like she's supposed to feel some type of way of you being.
Yeah, I'm not talking. I'm talking more. We black men, we have loyalty issues.
So
we got issues with raising our kids. This is like we have, and I'm not saying it's a.
So what makes that's like he was saying on the Constitution? What makes us men, besides two things you need, what makes us not shit? And then so
I'm more talking. I'm more talking about if you just look at all our negatives. We all have negatives.
Yeah, but women got negatives.
That was the point I was trying to make.
I wanted to know what constitutes us not being shit, and then what constitutes the women.
I mean, come on, we could.
What kind?
We could go off.
When I say
we know,
sorry,
no, we know what our setbacks are. That's all. Come on,
I can say that back then, like back.
That's what I'm talking about. I'm not necessarily shit. No. I'm not necessarily. I think y'all taking it. I think y'all taking what I'm saying too serious.
No.
I'm speaking and
taking what you said literally.
Yeah. Okay. I'm thinking in terms of 30,000 feet. I'm not thinking in terms of me and you ain't shit. Yeah. I'm not a not shit nigga. I'm the man. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, okay.
You understand what I'm? You the man. You the man.
That's the kind of language I like right there.
I'm speaking of. Excuse me if I'm not clear. Yeah. I'm speaking in terms of thinking from 30,000 feet. Yeah. We have negatives. Women have negatives. That's what I'm talking about. Absolutely. When I say we ain't shit, I'm just referring to the negatives. I'm not saying we ain't shit. No. Yeah. My point was we ain't shit, but they ain't shit either. In other words, neither one of us hands are clean. We have shit that we do to the other sex that you know.
So since we're talking about what constitutes a strong Black woman, with these attributes, you ain't really explain with these attributes that you say that make a woman ain't shit.
The same shit that make a woman ain't shit is the same shit that makes them strong. Just like the same shit that the same shit that makes us not shit is the same shit that actually making us stronger now.
How
right?
So?
In other words,
I need clarification for.
Man, this is y'all show. Y'all got me talking this shit.
Speaking, I just want to know what you mean by that.
Yeah. Listen,
man.
Okay. But listen, I mean, back on topic in terms of what I think is a strong Black woman. Like I mentioned my wife.
Right.
She's strong to me.
Right.
She got to deal with me.
Right.
But outside of her, like I brought up, I don't look at my mom. Me and my mom didn't have a good relationship, so I don't know how to reference, a strong mom. You know what I mean? Like I understand she took care of me till I was, well, I mean, she was around till I was like 13, but you know what I'm saying? I can't say. I don't know what her struggle was, but but to me, in my appearance, it wasn't strong. And that's not to say she's not strong, but what I seen from how I dealt with her and how it wasn't strong to me. So I can't reference it in that category. I can reference it in like, my wife, my kid's mother, my first wife. You understand what I'm saying? That was my experience. I can tell you.
We speak on universal things as well. We don't want to just get caught up with ourselves and the women that's in our immediate cycle.
No,
that's all I can talk about, though. I can't talk about.
Yes, we can. Because I think that our experiences.
Yeah, I can just talk about what I know.
True indeed, but is it like, for instance, when he speaks on a strong Black woman or a strong woman be someone that can put up with him, is that to say that the women that won't are weak? You know what I mean? I don't even know what.
No, that he's just basically saying what his perspective is.
Yeah, in that question.
Yeah, that's his. He's just saying what his.
So
I know, but
so like I said, I referenced my wife in that instance right there. But I can't. I see a lot of strong black women come to the gym every day. I see a lot of single moms with their
So
kids. So I just the fact you being a single mom makes you strong.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Like
True.
it makes you strong mentally, spiritually, emotionally, because you have to deal with that. So like I said, I brought up my wife just to bring that point up, like what's strong to me, because the women that I've had in my life that I trusted and I loved, they wasn't around in the end. So what makes you strong to me is like,
yeah,
and I know they left because of me.
Right.
it
You
all
know what I
comes
mean?
down
It
to
was because of
perspective.
me.
Right.
And in a case like that, for me, it will all depend on how I saw myself and how I saw the woman that I was dealing with. You know what I mean? Because if there could be a situation where, like he said, a woman that can put up with him is strong, depending on what he's bringing to the table, will constitute that. Because there are some women that put up with things, things about their man or different sides or parts of their man that they probably shouldn't if they want to consider themselves strong. You know what I mean? There's some women that stand by their man. I'm not referencing you at all, but there's women, black women, as a whole, period, that stand by their men and deal with how they are from a state of weakness. And that's why I don't want to cross reference what he's saying, but that just adds to the whole thing about strength being someone's perspective. You know what I mean? Because what we all have different perspectives, and that's why I was saying I didn't want you to make it autonomous, like your outlook to be autonomous to men as a whole.
I mean, we can make it. It could be both. It could be both ways. It could be your perspective, then you could speak from a 30,000 foot view. I think.
Sure.
I think it could be. It's all encompassed because we're black men. I mean,
So
our perspective is everybody's perspective, and everybody's perspective is our perspective.
so what you
experience
think?
them all.
What you think constitutes a weak black woman? Just a couple of things. Just out of
Again, like I'll go back to what I said about my mother. I can't say that she was a weak woman. I can't never say that because she's still here. You know what I mean, she went through what she went through. I'm just talking about in my instance. But what makes a weak woman to me is like, oh man, that's because it's broad. Like
it's yeah. I think
I mean, all right. So listen, a weak woman to me is somebody that that don't understand who she is, her position. She don't understand her value. She don't understand what like low self esteem because she don't understand who she is, and that comes from trauma in her life also. But to me, it makes you weak if you don't know how to balance your relationships. You don't know how to, conduct yourself in a relationship or conduct yourself around people. So I again, that's more of a character thing. You know what I mean? It's more of a character thing. So it's hard to say somebody is weak. You know what I mean, when you don't necessarily know them,
sure.
like off of one, like
Yeah, absolutely.
you know what I mean. You might, one of your kids might got taken from DCF. That don't mean you're not strong because something happened with one of your kids. So it's hard to just say somebody is weak.
And speaking of that, I wanted to say, I didn't mention it earlier, but I want to say that I think an attribute of a strong black woman too is perseverance. Because a lot of times they push through a lot of things that we don't have to deal with. You know what I mean? Especially in single parent homes, not all single parent homes, but they deal with a lot of stuff. Even if we're involved and we're just not living in the home, they still have to deal with things daily that we don't have to deal with. So perseverance is definitely a strong attribute to me. And a lot of times, these attributes weak and strong, we don't always see them. Because some people could appear to be strong that are very weak, and some people appear to be weak that are very strong. And like say some of the strongest people, you just don't see them when they cry behind closed doors. So I think again, it comes down to perspective, and your perspectives comes from your experience. So I think we're all right to a sense on how we see it.
So somebody in the question said, "Yes, explain a weak woman." So I wouldn't say. I think maybe the term weak is wrong. I think I would say low vibration, low energy woman. That's what I would say.
That's safe.
Right. I would say women that, okay, a low vibration woman will be a woman that's limiting access for her kid from the kids to the father, limited access to the kids, right, from the father. You know, um, that's one example. Another low vibration woman is a woman in this day and age who expects a man to just pay all her bills and she can't pay all her bills herself. That's low vibration. Like we're not in the 50s and 60s. I don't think it's wise for people to have that expectation. Instead of that expectation, the expectation should be you do your finances based off of who you're with and figure it out. It's an ad hoc thing.
But I will say this. Man. If I was in a position where my wife didn't have to work, that that'd be
Of course.
that's automatic.
And that's why I say it's to each his own. If you can do it,
you know what I mean, like if
of
I can
course.
do it, like I don't want her to work. I don't want her to do shit.
Agreed.
She want to do.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
But in today's economy, what are we talking about?
Today's economy.
When today's economy, you got inflation and shit.
That's what I'm saying.
You know,
Economy.
most women who you're gonna, in our age, any woman that we're gonna get with is gonna have kids. Now, they, of course, maybe the kids might be adult, but you know, anybody that we get with at this time is going to have their own responsibilities. You got a section of women out there that thinks that the man should just come and just take care of me and the kids and pay all my bills and pay up and get my credit up and all that shit. That's low vibration. That's bullshit to me. Which brings me to we can play a little video.
But all right, fast. My boy Philip Foster said, "What makes us not shit in today's damn man? I'm messing up with my joint." You see Philip Foster joint?
Let me see.
I don't know how to work my computer. Oh, yeah, I can't see it. I can't find it. I'm done. I was trying to answer his question.
What is it? What is he asking? What makes men not shit?
Yeah, he said he was asking what makes men not shit.
I think I'm not sure if he wants to know for himself, just know the definition, or if he's just
Our perspective. I think he's more looking at what our perspective is.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. You should definitely know, man. I know it's
look. Just in other words, just like there's low vibration, low energy women, there's low vibration, low energy men.
The
same shit, right? So you got men that are pretty much use women for what they want to use them for. You got men that use women for a place to stay, right? You got men that don't take care of their kids, right? You got women that limits access to the kids. On the other side, the flip side of the coin, you have a lot of men that don't really give a fuck about their kids, right?
Yeah.
So when I say men ain't shit, that's just some negative attributes. Now I'm not saying we ain't shit. That's not what I'm saying. I was just making it is the battle of the sexes, but that's just what it is. Black women will talk about black men, and black men's gonna talk about black women. And I don't take it personal that black women talk about black men because they've experienced the low vibration of us.
Do you believe there's any truth to that whole? Of course, you can't say black men are shit just because experience here and there. But do you believe that there is a I don't want to say universal, but I want to say just pretty much across the board. Do you think that there's some issues that black men do have that's pretty much not exclusive to black men, but it's something that we pretty much all deal with, or that we bring to certain relationships? You know what I mean? I think there's something that we collectively bring to it.
What is exclusive to black men is our environment and how we were raised and what we grew up seeing. That's what's exclusive to us. So a lot of trauma for the low vibration men that ain't shit.
Okay,
we grew up in it.
Black men and mental health is definitely
a thing.
Is a thing.
No doubt, definitely.
It is a thing.
And the way, like you just now said, the way that we was raised, the way that we grew up, and
We had to be tough.
we don't have a voice.
Oh,
We don't have a voice. We not controlling the narrative of who we are.
that brings me up to
You
a good
understand what I'm
video.
saying? We not controlling that. We letting society control the narrative of what a black man is.
Right.
We letting black women control the narrative of what a black man is. We need to control our own narrative. We need to start talking more because we was taught not to talk. Like if you talk so much, you looking like you a clown because you talk.
Yo, can I play this video? It goes with exactly what you're saying. Hold on.
Where did you learn, or when did it become apparent to you that
Oh, crap.
authenticity,
Hold on.
vulnerability is what
Sound
we
went.
need as a community to grow?
I stopped giving a fuck, man. Like one of the greatest.
Where did you learn, or when did it become apparent to you that authenticity, vulnerability? Where did you learn, or when did it become apparent to you that authenticity, vulnerability is what we need as a community in order for our communities to grow?
I stopped giving a fuck, man. Like one of the greatest things that happened to me when I was in prison, I cried. Because as a kid in the community, especially a boy in the ghetto, you taught to be tough by your mom. Fall off the swing. You better not cry. Boy, stop crying. Everybody teach you the dehumanization of black people is a deep thing about black people. Don't be a fucking human. Be a robot. Don't feel. Be tough. Don't cry. Don't go through a horror moment. You can't say I'm stressed out. I'm going through it. That's weak. You can't say I'm depressed. That's weak. You can't cry. That's weak. You can't get emotional and tell a woman, oh, baby, I love you in public. You soft ass. You're a simp. Listen, think about this. You would be called a simp if you told the woman, the mother of your child, the woman you love, that you love her out loud. And you regularly told her that in an environment where they don't do that. That simp ass. He a simp. Think about how we think, bro.
So, there's a lot of good nuggets in there. And I'll just say, from my perspective, what I see, like, I don't understand where, and you guys speak on this, you know about Russell, Sierra.
Yeah, Russell.
Russell.
Yeah.
I know his name is Russell.
Yeah, that's crazy. I don't know.
Somebody tell us who Sierra's husband is, a football player. We got a brain fart. Somebody tell us.
Russell Wilson.
Russell Wilson. There you go.
Russell Wilson.
There you go. Russell Wilson. So I see a lot of our black men calling Russell Wilson a simp. Me, I just see a man that loves his wife. He loves his wife's child. I see a man that wants to be that family man. I see a man that had not much trauma and was able to present himself to his wife almost trauma-free, wealthy, in a good situation. And he's like, you know what? I'm just a one-woman man. And so there was a lot of backlash when he first came out. He's a simp. He's doing too much. Even what Sierra wore at the Grammys or whatever. I think it was the Grammys, right? What Sierra wore at the Grammys.
No, my wife ain't wearing that though.
Okay, all right. That's to each. I get that, right?
Yeah,
but there were
yes.
a lot of other women besides Sierra who wore shit like that because it was themed. So I feel like she got unfair treatment because if they was going to talk about her, there was a lot of other married women that did the same thing.
So you're saying Russell Wilson is strong?
Hell yeah, he's strong. Any man that don't give a fuck about what another man say about him,
Nah, I hear you.
Is a strong nigga.
Yeah, but I don't think it's the issue about what somebody else saying. And again, I kind of lean towards what you saying. Like any woman, if I got money like that, like Russell Wilson got, if I have a contract like that, anybody that's in my world don't gotta do shit. You understand what I'm saying? Like if you in my world, that means you valuable to me anyway. So you gonna you
Can y'all hear my mic?
yeah.
They said my mic was off. I don't know how that happened.
Yeah, you gonna be good anywhere if you in my world, and you my wife in my world. I don't care how many kids you got. If you in my world, like those kids in my world too. So I understand the what certain men say when they say he a simp, he taking care of somebody else's baby, da da da, this and that. Like I mean, like especially in our community, that happens all the time. That's regular shit, yo. That's not. That ain't. I don't think that's simping.
They like I hear what Walt was saying, and I agree with some of the stuff he was saying. Some of the stuff I think he took it too far. For instance, what he was saying as far as how when we're younger, we're taught not to to be strong and tough, and don't cry and that sort. Um,
They say your mic is low, Chuck. My mic is low. Yeah. So Carla said it's not about money; it's about how he treats her. So yeah. Like she said, Russell Wilson and Sierra. It's not about how. Um, it's not about the money. It's about how he treats her.
True, they like I said with Walt. I think the part that he spoke on with Russell Wilson, he got it wrong. He didn't speak on Russell Wilson in particular, but I think the part about simping and things, I think he got it wrong.
To me?
No, not you. Talking about Wild, right? For instance, a lot of the stuff that he was saying about black men in our community being traumatized and things of that sort is very true. Men being taught that they're not supposed to cry, that they're supposed to always be strong, and you fall, they just get up, brush yourself up, keep going. It's not a black thing. It's not a black community thing. That's a man thing. And even though, of course, we only talk about what happens in our own community, we have to be clear on that when we, especially speaking in the public sector. Those things do go on, and of course, he only speak about the black community. That's all he knows. But sometimes our comments make it exclusive. Like when Wilder was saying, look what we do. Almost as if we don't do that. As if we're the only people that experience that. And as far as he described the simping, I don't think that's it. I don't think there's anybody out there calling a brother a simp just because he expresses love to his women.
Yeah, they out there.
I'm not saying that they're not out there.
They out there. They doing that dumb shit.
These are people that have no even real concept of the word, because simp, there's a real definition for a simp. But it's not about a dude who really cares about his girl or expresses his love to his girl out in public. Well, a simp, the definitions of a simp always has been really a dude that was stupid, that was a fool for women, that could be used, somebody that was just, a girl could just walk all over him because he had feelings for her.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that.
Or a girl, like a guy being with a girl that was known around to be fast or whatever. So with Russell Wilson, when Sierra and Russell Wilson got married, before that, Sierra had a real raunchy reputation. She had a raunchy image in black music. So Sierra, before she actually settled down and got married to Russell, she had one of them wild girl, hot girl images.
No, she did.
So, yes, she did. Yes,
She was the only thing that made her that was because she was with Future.
not at all.
She
First
wasn't.
of all, listen, bro. And it's perspective, but you can look this stuff up.
No, tell me. Yeah.
Sierra first got her image from Goodies. Stuff like these were songs.
Yeah, but that was.
Hold on, I know this. But Sierra had an image before Future. Y'all gotta understand that. She had an image, and her image was sexual things. She was a little bit faster than Aaliyah. She had a dance move, but look up some of her old videos. Goodies and all that stuff is different. Sierra had the image of being kind of sexy and alluring and things like that. Once she got with Future, her image changed because Future was known as this dog that had all these women around. So when she got with Future, people started looking at her kind of lower. It didn't lower her value, but some people started looking at her as crazy for messing with him. Now, she still had this image of being this wild chick. When she got with Future, some people expected that. They was like, yo, that's the dude for her. So when she broke up with Future and got with Russell Wilson, they was looking at him like, this nigga done wiped up this hoe. That's what it was.
No.
Now, I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you, bro.
But
It's
so
not
are we judging
Maybe-
when you say when
Yeah.
she was fast or she seemed fast and she was crazy
That's
like
not me. I'm talking about the industry.
okay, so I see as a musician,
That wasn't a bad thing.
what I saw was more so who's that? Who's loud? One of y'all phones on or something? Okay. So back to my thought. Even like Carla said on the comments, she was on the comment. That was branding. She was just a dope ass dancer. She's a dope ass artist.
Brandy?
Branding.
Oh.
You know, she came out in the early 2000s. I didn't see her as she didn't come across to me like Little Kim and Nicki Minaj. Mm-hmm. She came across to me like Rihanna. Like what Rihanna, you know, back then she was just a hip hop dancer who could sing. I'm talking about Sierra.
The difference between Sierra and Rihanna is Rihanna's more of a pop star.
Right.
Sierra was more still black music, considered black music when she was out.
Well, when she first came out and she did that shit with Missy, and then she came, that was more pop. I viewed her as pop
because of Missy, and
she wasn't R&B.
She was definitely R&B, brother. Sierra was not pop music. Sierra was R&B. She was well known because of her.
Fuck Sierra, yo.
No, I just want to explain that.
Yeah.
Not even Sierra. It's the whole scent part because people, they on the video they had a definition a little skewed, and some of it, and maybe Rob had the definition skewed too. A scent was really just basically a dude that was a dude that was either in love, trying to wife up, or a sucker for a chick that nobody else wasn't trying to wife up, and that's what Sierra was looked at as used goods. Especially when she got
really,
but listen, Wallow said something real interesting in that video, man.
Mm.
He said, like a lot of people are not put in positions where like people always talk about men don't cry, men don't do, men cry, like he said in that video, man, when he was in jail and he cried, you know how many times I was in prison and I cried? I think they talking about not crying in front of somebody. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Yeah,
like it got to be like, yo, because I don't cry in front of you, I don't cry. Like I've cried, like, you know what I mean? Like a baby in my cell. Like, you understand what I'm saying? Coming back from court and a judge telling you some shit that you can't fight. You understand what I'm saying?
If you would have came out your cell in the middle of the day room and started crying like that,
you can't do that.
Looked at you like
yeah. So that's what I'm saying. It got to be like, you can't say men don't cry because like you got to be a cyborg if some shit happened to you and you don't cry. You know what I mean? Like that's ridiculous to me to say
that. That's old stuff, man.
Well, but there still is a level of that in society. So there's a story, and I didn't have time to like grab like a video of it, but there was a story of a woman, right? And this woman did an experiment, and she said, "I want to know what it's like to be a man," right? So she totally made herself over. She totally looked like a dude. She went out and she embarked on this experiment. She met men who thought she was a man, basically befriended them, right? And she befriended a bunch of women that didn't know she was a woman, as if she was a man. And what she found was men have it fucking hard. And it's not like men have it fucking hard because we are products of what men are. We've already learned how to deal with specific emotions. We learned how to deal with not being able to express ourselves. So we've learned how to deal with that. So what happened was, real quick, she started to realize the emotional needs of a man are almost like never met. And then when men found out she was a woman, she said their relationship changed. Not even like sexual, but they said the relationship changed where that's when the men started opening up to her. And then when the woman found out at the end of the experiment that she was a woman, she said the woman wanted to fuck her. It was crazy because it's crazy. But at the end of the experiment, and you can look to, I don't know her name. Her name is Nora something. I'll get it. I'll put it in the comments or something later. She ended up killing herself.
Wow.
Because she couldn't deal with the emotional. Now, I'm sure there had to be some, in my opinion, there had to be some kind of mental health stuff there, right? But she killed herself because she couldn't deal with, as a woman, trying to understand how a man has to be so closed in. Has he, there's a certain level of respect and kind of community that we have within each other, right? But at the same time, there's only so far we're going to allow each other in our emotional space, right? I ain't crying to y'all motherfuckers. I'm not calling y'all up to say I had a bad day today.
No.
We can't do that shit. Women could do that shit, right?
Nah, go ahead.
Right? I can't say, like you said, when we cry, we do that shit on our own. We deal with the shit privately. We can't be forthcoming with our emotions when we're melancholy, sad, and shit, all that bullshit, right? We can't do that. Even the level of our friendship, we can't do that. That's like, man, Cole, what the fuck is you doing? You being a bitch.
Some of it is, you right, you dead right. But I don't want the ones who choose it to get away under that banner. You know what I'm saying? Because some choose that. And it's about, some is about destiny. Like, for instance, they say, there's men could go, a lot of black men don't go to therapy because of the stigmas and things that, people saying, not only that you're weak, but, you're crazy and things of that sort. But there are some men who don't do that as a choice because it's out there and we know about it. So a lot of this stuff is by choice, man. Not a lot of it, I ain't gonna say a lot of it. Some of the stuff is by choice. You know what I mean?
Oh, listen, man. I think, again, like I said, the mental health in black men is a real thing, man. And,
Absolutely.
And like, it's a lot of different ways that we take care of our mental health outside of counseling. And I know a lot of people talk about going to see a therapist, and I don't got nothing against going to see a therapist. If you need, that's what you need to go see a therapist. Go get some counseling. And I'm not saying I don't need counseling, but what I'm saying is, man, I spent a whole bunch of time by myself, with myself, learning myself. You know what I mean? Like being in them cells, man, you don't got no other choice but to learn who you are.
Right.
You understand what your traumas is, understand what your triggers are. And again, I'm not saying counseling is not the thing, but the first thing a counselor gonna tell you, like, basically, do you know yourself? Do you know what happened to you? Do you know what your traumas are? Do you know what your triggers are?
Right.
Do you know these things? Like, when you spend time by yourself enough and you don't learn who you are, then there's something wrong with you. You understand what I'm saying? Like that's like I've had conversations with myself, I've answered my own questions.
It all depends, man, what you telling yourself as well. You know what I'm saying? That's because this is some conversations that went on some people's heads that they should have been having. On but I definitely know what you mean. Solitude and stuff like that give you that time to know yourself. But we gotta be willing, man. We gotta somehow be a part. You know what I'm saying? To be a part of this fight. Black men, we all deal with a lot of untreated trauma, but we gotta come to a place where we trying to do something about it. You know what I mean? Instead of exacting a lot of trauma on each other. As men and women.
I think this is a good step, though. This is a good start, right? Because we don't really talk about this shit.
Yeah.
Like you said, we can't talk about this shit, but more people in our community need to be having these conversations because that's kind of like how we get our sense of community back. When I'm in a environment where there's a lot of strong black men, like, okay, so for instance. And I'm not trying to put church on nobody, but the church I go to, I've been to a lot of churches. Y'all know I play guitar. I've probably played in every church in Connecticut, every black church in Connecticut, right? The church I go to is different because when I walk up into that motherfucking church, there is a man right at the door.
You don't be cussing in church, right?
Nah, well, when I don't slip. Sorry. So anyway, when I walk up in that church, most of the time when you walk up in the church, who's greeting you? A woman,
Yeah, the usher.
right? Next to the woman,
I don't know.
I mean, it depends.
but most of the time,
Most of the time
it's a woman, right?
Yeah.
Where I go, it's just crazy because I see black men in position and in the protector role, right? You don't see that in churches. Most of the time, some shit happened in the church that happened at the back of the church. Niggas got to run back there because it's only the women in the back there that's greeting everybody, right? You got men up in there and they packing. Ain't no guns allowed on the premises, but them niggas is packing. So that's one thing I respected. Like that's one place where I said, if there's any presence of men that needs to be there in the right place, it's this fucking church because all our women and their kids are going there, right?
So we talked about what we think a real woman is, man. Like in your opinion, what makes you a real man?
You
understand what I'm saying?
Real man, yeah.
What makes someone a real man?
Is that a question?
That is a question.
It's all opinion. You know what I'm saying?
No,
I don't know about like what makes you.
And this is
What
open
makes
to
you
the
a man?
audience, too.
Yeah, it's open for everybody. But
It's open for everybody.
what like black man? What makes you a man? Like what could you stand doing to say that I'm a man,
Yeah.
or I gotta work on this to become that? Like you know what I mean? Like we could be kids in a adult body.
I think a lot of what it means to be a man, we had to learn. I think most, and I said this to another guy before, and it went totally left. But a lot of times when you come from a specific environment, and I didn't come from like
You mean social or
social,
okay,
community social, where you went to school.
Yeah, I got you.
Where you went to school. If you went to school in the hood, you from the motherfucking hood, right? So, our experiences, and even men, when we're 25, our brains aren't even fully developed yet. We don't even know what it is to be a man, but we're put in positions to be men because we're at the age, right? Me, I didn't start learning myself until I was like 38, 40. That's when I started saying, damn, you was a kid. You made some kid decisions. You thought like a kid. Mind you, women, on the other hand, are already developed at 25
Women are
mentally.
more mature.
They have matured. They figured that shit out
Yeah.
15 years before I did, right? Probably because a lot of them had to, right? We didn't have to because we had the choice to kind of like walk away, right? So I started like realizing myself not only about 5-7 years ago. It's crazy. But to me, being a strong man is somebody.
How so?
I don't know. It's just a self-awareness, a knowledge of self. I did a little bit of therapy maybe some 10, 12 years ago, but it was more knowledge of self, like understanding me, understanding what my deal breakers were.
Absolutely.
And the wisdom that there was shit when I'm in my relationships that I dealt with in my 20s and 30s that I would never deal with now. There was shit that I put up with. See, men, part of the not being able to be communicative is not really being able to say what your deal breakers are. Women don't let you know what their deal breaker is right away. We don't. We kind of deal with it. That's our nature.
I think really the only deal breaker with men is disrespect. Like for me, like man,
And what's rampant in the black community?
yeah, like,
Disrespect.
Like listen, man, you
Yeah.
can't be disrespectful.
Yeah, I'm at a certain age. You can't disrespect me.
I don't want to I want to get down on the next time, man. But I think I don't want to say that we earn disrespect because that's not the case. But I think that a lot in a lot of our communities, us black men don't step up for respect. And a lot of times that's the problem. the image with the black men. A lot of the mistakes we made when we was younger. We I think we owe a lot to black women, and that's where some of these things come from. Black women having to be feeling they have to be stronger, having to take care of everything. Some of these situations in our community, in our image, we gotta step it up. We gotta step into these places of respect. We gotta change the culture.
So in my mind, how could I say it, man? Like, for me, I think a man need to be depended on. You understand what I'm saying? I think you have to be in a position where your kids depend on you, your wife depend on you. You understand what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying in my mind. So it's crazy for me to say because I think I'm still in that stage where I'm learning how. I'm that little boy. Mm-hmm. I still got those little boy thoughts. Mm-hmm. I still got the little boy behaviors because I'm just now starting to grow up. Mm-hmm. And let me backtrack to what I'm talking about. In my mind, like me being away so much, being locked up so much, mm-hmm. not being around with my kids, mm-hmm. or being around people that I love is like they've learned how to move without me. So they don't depend on me. Mm-hmm. You understand what I'm saying? Like I haven't been around. So they've learned how to deal with things. They've learned how to move, mm-hmm. and like cause I don't have to depend on that. I don't got like whatever I'm going through. Right. That's not gonna be the first person I'm gonna call. Because
do you need them to do that now?
Absolutely. Like, and when I say absolutely, I mean I want when they going through something, and not just my kids, anybody that's in my circle. If they going through something, I want them to look at me and say, okay, I could go to him and talk to him about this. I could go to him and he gonna help me fix it. Mm-hmm. And that's how I envision a father is. Like their kids depend on them. Like mm-hmm. I don't care how old they get. Like I know, like if I need to call my dad, like my dad gonna be there, and I don't got that. So you understand what I'm saying? I don't got that.
Gotta be dependable.
Exactly, and I've never put myself in a position to be dependable. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like going to prison all the time, being in the hood all the time. Like you're not dependable. Mm-hmm. Like I'm here 1 year, the next 2 years I'm gone. I'm back out. I'm here for 9 months. I'm back locked up again for another 18 months. So I look at like I never met my dad. I never met him, never seen him, never touched him in my mind. Like I don't remember. So it's like what he did to me is like what I did to my kids is worse than what my father did to me because I never knew my dad. Mm. Like I got used to not knowing him. But my kids, I was in and out of their lives back and forth. You know what I mean? Like you know me, mm-hmm. now you gone. Mm-hmm. You know me, now you gone. I think the trauma that I put on my kids is worse than the trauma that my dad put on mine because I never knew him at all. Like I never. But so I'm gonna say this right quick too, right? That like, so my sister just hit me up in my inbox the other day, mm-hmm. and I think on the last show I shared that I ain't have no contact with my dad just for it. The first time I had contact was like 2 years ago on Facebook with my dad. Mm-hmm. So my sister hits me up in my inbox couple days ago, and she goes, "You know your father dying, right?"
No, wow.
And I'm going, so I'm always on that. My anger wouldn't let me feel for a stranger.
Wow, yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? I was on that shit, but when she said it, I was like, oh shit.
Wow.
Like I don't know this nigga, but when she said that, I'm like I was curious to know, like, you know, what happened, like how, like.
Connections is connection.
And then I said to her, I said, yo, I need to know what's wrong with him. So, like, if it was health issues, I need to find out so I could go get checked out.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
So, like, it's mad things that men deal with, man. Like even now, like even I just had a fight with a dog. I haven't even processed yet that I had a fight with a dog yet. You understand what I'm saying?
That shit is
like I
nuts.
haven't even sat down or nothing yet. I had a
thought
fight
about
with
it.
a whole goddamn dog, yo.
Right.
You understand? I haven't processed that shit yet. You know what I mean? I was sitting down today. I was like, damn, yo, I'm putting the shit on my face. I'm like, yo, I had a fight with a motherfucking dog, yo. You understand what I'm saying? So it's so many different things that goes on that people don't understand, like what you going through.
So let me ask you, when you describe your father and the things that he missed out on and things you missed out on with your kids and how you need him to rely on you, what have you changed from your behaviors then? And what do you do now that's different that has changed that dynamic between you and your kids?
See, that dynamic is never gonna change. It's never gonna change.
I mean, like from, it could maybe the dynamic was worse, but now it's just bad. Maybe it was great, but now it's just good.
So
or maybe it was bad and it's better. It's not great, but it's better. You know what I mean? Like how the
now it can never be better because the relationship is not the way that I want it to be. You understand what I'm saying? Like, we not beefing. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we not beefing or nothing, but it's not. It's the same relationship that I have with my mom and my dad. You understand what I'm saying? Like.
So, what approach? Like there was times you was in prison. Can't do nothing about that.
Mm-hmm.
But when you wasn't, like, what approach? How do you change your approach from back then to now? You know what I'm saying?
I mean, put myself, like, I'm not going back and forth to jail. I'm not in the hood. But they've grown up. They already, you know what I mean? So the only thing I can do now is get my shit together. Get my shit together, put myself in a position where
you can be a resource.
Where I could be a resource for them. You know what I mean? So that's my goal right there. Like,
that is, I hear what you're saying, and that's, it's logic. That's your journey. That's your thing. So I'm not telling you what to do or how to feel, but sometimes as fathers, as parents, period, but definitely as fathers, that we forget how much just our presence alone can mean to our kids. Certain things that we may think are big things aren't really that big to them, and certain things that we think are small things aren't small to them. I'm gonna give you an example. I'm definitely the last person to be talking about my personal business online, but just going to what you were saying. Just wanted to pass on. Got some static in the line.
Nah, that's the same. That sounds
just wanted to pass on the story. What you were saying about your kids being grown, and they figured out how to be without you and things of that sort. The reason why I asked you about how you changed the approach, because I remember I knew my father, growing up. He wasn't always there in the home, but I knew who he was. And we didn't really have a strong relationship growing up. But me and him kind of got into this conversation. I might have been 30 or something like that. We kind of bumped into each other. And at that time, I was having problems with one of my kids' moms. You know what I mean? I was complaining to him about it.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, man, this is crazy, man. I got to do this, I got to do that. I got to jump over hurdles, why? See my kids, why? And he said, I understand, I hear you. He said, but yo, don't make the mistakes that I made. And it reminded, something he said reminded me of what you were just saying. And he was lamenting about the times that he wasn't there. And he told me himself, he said, for me not being there, it came a time when y'all grew older. And I saw that y'all had, just like you said, learned how to live without me and made a way without me. And he told me that when he saw all of that, the reason why he stayed away is because he felt like we didn't need him no more, similar to what you said, and he felt like we didn't want him around no more. Because we was on our own. What do you need you for? And I told him how wrong he was. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying that to say to you, it might not be in the way you think. After all the stuff that you might not have done, just a little bit could mean the world. Just an effort could mean the world. I'm not saying I don't know what you do or what you don't do.
Mm-hmm.
but you could be more valuable. And I ain't trying to counsel you on online on that stuff. But I'm just from my experience, I'm sharing. You could be more valuable than you know. You might be trying to save up this treasure chest so you could present to them and say, yo, I got all this for y'all. And it might just be enough to be like, yo, what's up? What's good? You chilling? Yeah, just want to highlight you, man. I'll call you later. Boom. And that could be almost as great as that treasure chest.
Absolutely.
Just you know what I'm saying, brother to brother.
Absolutely. I'm more coming from a point where, you know, like I'm around. You know what I mean? Like I'm around. Like my kids are grown. Like it ain't like they around like they was kids. Like they grown. They living their lives. Like so I'm around. Like I'm not gonna go spend the night at your crib. No, like I'm not gonna go to your crib and do. Like we passed that stage. I missed that. Like you know what I mean. I'm dad. You know my number. I'm around. I'll come check you when it is. But you know what I mean. I missed that wave.
Right.
I missed everything. I missed.
The ocean is big.
You know what I mean. I missed that wave.
Right.
You know what I mean. Like the ocean is definitely vast. But I'm saying.
But you're acknowledging that
Going
you
now,
missed.
exactly. I'm acknowledging I missed that. I missed that. And like I said, the only way for me to feel like I told you, like that's a man for me is like people that you love can count on you. Like they like you credible to them. Like you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You dependable. Like no matter what's going on, I know I could call my dad because he's helped me before.
So
he you know what I mean?
I don't know if you want to answer the questions, but I was trying to send it around. Now I want to ask you a question. What? Because I wanted to talk about something else, but before we get to that, what are a few, just real quick, a few attributes that you would say that constitute a strong black male?
Okay, so my disclaimer is, it's based off of your environment, how you grew up, and your background.
Yeah.
For me, a strong black man is, you take care of your business, you take care of your kids, now this isn't in any particular order, I'm just kind of like speaking off. Take care of your kids, take care of your wife,
business, kids,
take care of your family. You create a legacy for your children. And when I say a legacy, I mean a legacy. In other words, we all should be striving to create something, whether it's a life insurance policy, whether it's something.
Is that smart or strong?
It's both. It's both.
Because if it's someone what if it's about someone that can't afford all those things?
Well, as men, we are resourceful. We should figure out. We should learn. Because it's not expensive for that, to do that kind of stuff.
But no doubt.
Right? No doubt. But I think that is the thing that stops us from doing it. And I think it's our generation that has to start. When I die, I'm thinking, hopefully I'm here another 50 years. Right? Well, within the next, between now and however many, 29, 25, 30 summers that I have left, it's my job to create a legacy for my kids so that I can create a legacy for my grandkids. And that is important to me.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Because all too often, we kind of grew up in a lot of the wealth that, other races have. Mm-hmm. And that's not, a lot of it is, racial, discrimination and stuff, right? And a lot of it is lack of knowledge. Mm-hmm. Right, and I think that we are in an age where we have knowledge at our fingertips. We got the Google machine, right? We got our phones, and I think that if you're not striving to, even if we weren't the best fathers back then, and I so we all could be better. I think that we could work on being parents as far as creating a legacy, creating an empire for our even if we're not with the kids' mothers, even if whatever, I think we owe it to our offspring to make sure that we have something in place.
So a strong black man is one who takes care of his family, leaves a legacy for his children pretty much.
Mm-hmm. And but because leaving a legacy for your children it encompasses a whole bunch of shit. It encompasses you working. It encompasses you handling your business. It encompasses a work ethic that you need to have. It encompasses a state of mind, right? Poor people think differently than middle class people. Middle class people think differently than rich people.
Absolutely.
Rich people think differently than wealthy people, right? I'm trying to get to where my thinking is more going towards wealthy. Because when you think about shit, and when you say that you are, I'm a millionaire. I'm not, right? But I'm a millionaire because I'm saying it because I'm manifesting it. And as a man, as men, we need to start saying, this is because what you want to be, you'll never become who you want to be if you don't envision it first. And that's the idea of a strong man. I don't care what come, what go. I don't care about nothing else. What I choose to be is I just want to be the best person I could be for my kids. Because when my kids have kids, they're going to say that granddad, he was a dope ass nigga.
So basically, in your mind, again, what constitutes a strong man is a man with a strong business sense.
And you don't have to have a strong business sense, but at least be willing to learn and acquiesce to knowledge.
So, legacy, taking care of family. Right? What do you think a couple attributes? And before he gets you, I don't mean actions, duties. We could be talking about that. I'm talking about attributes. I'm not talking about what you do. I'm talking about more what someone is. There are rich people that leave legacies for their children who spend about a month, a year with them. You know what I'm saying? So
right.
There's people with legacies they didn't even know their parents. So I mean the attributes. Like when we were asking what constituted a strong black woman. Some of the things that we were saying made a black man strong, some black women are doing. And we didn't name none of those things. Because they're hustling, they're working hard, they're trying to have something for the family. And I'm not choosing any type of side. I just wanted to get to the attributes. You know what I mean? I know what he was saying about all that stuff was what a man should do. But at the same time, we even have to be careful with that because, you know, the man has to do this, the man has to do that, kind of almost falls under the same umbrella of men ain't supposed to cry. You know what I'm saying? So I hear what you're saying, and that's in a lot of ways that's true. But we don't want to get caught up. We got to know that we don't want to get.
Nah, I think but I think that you're missing a point. There has to be, all masculinity isn't toxic.
Of course not.
Right?
I don't think masculinity is toxic at all.
I was gonna say that.
It's not. It's just the way it can be. It's the way it can be used.
I don't think
Utilized.
masculinity is toxic
I ain't gonna get into that, but that's something to think about.
Right. So, in other words, when I say that to say, there are some things that men are supposed to do that men should fucking do. In other words, if I'm in the car with my lady, she ain't getting out to put gas in the car. Me as a man, I'm gonna do. That's the same thing as saying I need to create a legacy for my kids. That's just something a man. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. But see, you asked me what my perspective was.
Yeah, but
I'm asking you. I'm telling you, for me, for me, taking care of your kids is the most important thing ever. Like that's all you have. What do you have in this world if you're not married?
Taking care of yourself is the most important thing ever. Self-preservation is the first order of the world.
You're supposed to do that.
No, people don't do that. That's important to say.
Nobody's taking care of their kids and not taking care of themselves. That should be known. If you got more mind enough to take care of your kids, you're not taking care of yourself.
Well,
come on. Who's doing that?
It depends what you constitute on taking care of. Whether they're providing the basics or they're going above and beyond.
Somebody who's looking to leave a legacy for their children and take care of their kids. Hold up, somebody. And what I'm talking again, I'm speaking 30,000 feet. I'm speaking anybody who's striving to do that. You might not be able to do that, but in your head, you're like, okay, this is what I got to do, and this is what I'm working to.
That's how we see 30,000. No, I'm not switching.
Well, I'm saying, well, okay, point taken. But at the end of the day, anyone who's striving to do that is already working on themselves and being the best version of themselves. I can't leave a legacy for my kids if I ain't taking care of me. There's no way I'll be able to do that shit.
Sure indeed.
You can't have one without the other.
Sure indeed.
How am I gonna leave a legacy with my kids if I don't have a good job to have a fucking life and get a life insurance to do that shit?
Well, that's what I said. I said, like,
So, you know,
want to be a valuable resource.
You want to be a valuable. At the end of the day, what do we have? We ain't married. We just got our kids. What do we have left? We want to be good, decent ass men. We want to love our wives, love our girls, love who we deal with, right? And we want to make sure that our kids love us. That should be and
As fathers.
As fathers, and if
I say as strong black men,
that's part of being a man.
Kind of.
That's all. It's all encompassed.
Kind of. Being a man and a strong black man constitutes certain actions and stuff and behaviors. Being a father constitutes entering and, ejaculation and penetration. That's not exactly what I was asking.
Listen, I could take a whole U-turn on that because, like, like, being a good father is definitely not something that I was. And even now, like, I'm not even.
But if you leave a legacy,
I said that, but that's what I said in the beginning.
Right, exactly.
I said the only thing I can do is work on myself and be a valuable resource.
So it don't even worry. I'm messing with him. I said it don't even matter good dad or not. As long as you got a legacy, you straight.
I mean, that is part of being a good dad.
Nah, I'm messing with
you know what I'm saying? Shit.
Nah, that's not part of being a good dad, man.
Yes, it is.
Nah.
Because if that's what your kids remember you as, even if
the kids, they're gonna live off and enjoy life insurance, but they're not gonna remember that. They're gonna remember how you treated them and loved them when you were here.
It's both. It's all encompassing.
Nah, man.
It is.
Nah, man. It's not in the same realm, man.
I would hope.
I know what you're saying.
I would hope that before any man leaves this earth, he makes it right with his kids.
Of course.
So at that point, before you leave this earth, if you have the opportunity to, and you make it right with your kids, and then you leave your legacy or leave what you feel, what you can.
Sometimes
right?
you can't make it.
Sometimes you can't make, even if you can't make it right with your kids.
Is strong.
But you made an effort, and then you did something to leave something behind for them.
Yeah,
what about things like
what else? What more can you do?
When you talk, you talk about. I'm not talking about a strong black father. I'm talking about a strong black man. What about attributes like reliability, loyalty, being trustworthy, accountability?
Well,
what about attributes like that? That's what I was saying. What constitutes?
Well, bring them up.
I just told you I'm dead in that category.
Those things are for me, but those things don't have anything to do with leaving a legacy. I'm not saying that anything you said is. Don't get me wrong. That's what everyone should try to do. That's what
but you can't ask me from my perspective, then say, well, I was meaning something else. I'm telling you, that's for me.
No doubt.
That's important to me.
No doubt.
Being trustworthy, being a good man, and all that shit.
Yeah.
In order to do what I'm saying, I have to already have those qualities.
So define legacy. What's legacy?
That's not even an attribute. That's the thing.
Yeah, define legacy.
Describe it.
Like you said. Like I could say. So I already put out there I wasn't a good dad. You know what I mean? It wasn't around. So my legacy is going to be what I do. Get them boy boxing. That's going to be my legacy.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying?
Of course.
So are we talking about our personal legacy that's going to spread out to the people that we love, or are we talking about your legacy as a family man? Because that's over for me.
Not your legacy as a father. Your legacy as a father. Your legacy in terms of father.
That's over.
Right now, you have a business.
Exactly. That's my legacy.
That is
I'm
your
going to
legacy.
spread through.
You're going to spread through.
Exactly.
Right now, you should have your business set up. Mm-hmm. If something happens to you,
absolutely,
the proceeds of that business will go to your kids.
Yep.
That's what I mean. The
And that's the plan.
Something.
And that's the plan.
That's what I'm talking about.
But that makes you a strong black male.
Yes, the fuck it do.
How so?
Okay, it don't.
No, I'm just saying. Cause boom.
You know what makes it strong is
You
about
missing
that.
the question a little bit, just a little bit.
You know what makes it? You know what? In terms of make me a strong black man in that instant right there, because I had to come to terms of saying, "Yo, listen, like when I did that last bid, I did that 6 years. Like I had to on purpose forget about people that I love in order to do this shit because I knew like they wasn't gonna be around. So I can't do this bid grasping at people that I know is not gonna be around for me in this situation. You understand what I'm saying? So it's hard when you have to intentionally forget people, and then when you get out of that situation, now it's hard to remember them. You understand what I'm saying? Like you can't. I've seen dudes in jail like going crazy over their wife, going crazy because they can't see their kids, going crazy because ain't nobody writing them. Like they taking medications, they going inside the medical unit. You know what I mean? And that wasn't gonna be me. Like I intentionally said, fuck everybody.
But people could look at that two different ways. But I don't want to make this exclusive for us because there was no women in here that we were exclusive about. We're talking about black women as a whole. So when we talking about what constitutes a strong black man, of course you're going to think about yourself. But I don't want to get so caught up in ourselves that we only speak of the attributes that we deem ourselves as a part of.
So you're saying as a whole, what I think is a strong
just
black
like we
man.
talk about the black women, we talk about as a whole. We ain't talk about women we knew.
Okay, so what I admire is I know I got two fathers that come to the gym. And when I see them, what constitutes a strong black man, I'm going to strictly go from the family aspect of it. And I told them, I shared this with them also, Phil and James. I said, what makes you niggas dope dads, man, is that every time your kid wake up in the morning, he gonna see you. You understand what I'm saying? Like you live with your kid, you with your kid every day. Like every time your kid wake up, he know I'm gonna see dad when I wake up. I'm gonna see mom. You know what I'm saying? Like to me, that's like the best dad ever, man. Because no matter what,
he present and he reliable.
He present and you can see his sons operating the way he operates just because they see him, just because he's there.
Will he not be strong without a legacy? I'm just digging on him, man. Cause
will he not be strong without
a legacy?
Nah, I think you still could be strong.
You still could be strong without.
I just was digging on him.
Yeah, man. I think
attributes, man. Attributes.
Leaving a legacy for your kid is an attribute because that encompasses a whole bunch of attributes. Look, this is. I'm just giving you a perspective.
Yeah, no doubt.
My perspective, that's me. Fuck an attribute. I don't give a fuck how loyal I am.
Yeah.
When I die, nobody, fuck who thinks I'm disloyal. My kids will say, my father took care of me.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck about them damn attributes. You ask me for my fucking perspective, I'm giving it to you.
Listen.
Right?
Yeah.
In my opinion, what's important to me, because
important to you.
Because of the system that's limiting my time with my kids.
See, I'm asking about.
So that's what's important to me.
Yeah.
Now, what you consider good attributes for men might be different for you.
No.
Based off of your experience.
This is what I'm saying. It's not about good attributes or bad attributes. I hear what you're saying. There's another word for it, but leaving a legacy is not. That's an action. That's not an attribute. And. Yo, please don't get caught up in the whole thing about the children not caring about nothing but you taking care of them. That's not true.
That's me. That's me personally. That's what I want to do for mine.
That has nothing to do with what you want to do for yours. I didn't say you don't.
No. I'm just saying that's. I don't know.
All right. All right. Let me answer. Let me ask a question that goes with that answer. What things can fathers do to help make their kids' lives better?
This will be the last one because we've been there for an hour and a half. This is the last one. 5 more minutes. So what was that again? Say that again?
I was just saying, what else can fathers do to what else could you do to leave a legacy for your kids? Like, I'm saying, like, what else could you?
You can't do nothing. A legacy means leaving something for them.
Absolutely. You know, all legacies aren't financial, right?
Say what?
I don't want to sound like I'm against money. I'm just keeping clear. You know, all legacies aren't financial.
Look,
the only reason I'm saying
for
that,
me, leaving a legacy is about money. I don't give a fuck about nothing else.
that's
for
the
me.
only reason I'm saying that, because all of your perspectives seem to center around finances, and that's your perspective. That's fine, but I was just trying to, you know.
The fuck you? What you want? What you want me to talk about? What else? What else is there to talk about?
Talk about the damn question that I asked you, man.
I'm telling you, I just answered it.
Yo, I was asking, what's the best type of vegetables for skin? And this nigga started talking about how much he loved tomatoes. I don't give a damn how much you love them tomatoes. You know what I'm saying? This dude right here, man. Anyway. Yo, I forgot I got something to say. Fuck their feelings. Alright. Yo. So thank you everybody for tuning in to.
Thank y'all for tuning in to Fighting Words. I guess it was Shelton on
It's called Fighting Words.
I guess Shelton was running the show tonight, folks. You know.
I think it was interesting conversation about when we talk about mental health in the black community with black men. Like, there's so many things, man. Like, I just now I ran off a couple of things, man, that just recently happened to me that I didn't even deal with yet. Mm-hmm. You understand what I'm saying? So and that's just 2 instances with me. So on a larger scale, black men are just going through so much, man, and you got to hold so much in.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Choosing to get help is a strength. You know what I'm saying? Like, that in itself is a strength, trying to do something about it, because we know, you know, how we suffer as black men and the things we got to go through. But we got to, instead of, like, wearing that as a coat of protection, we got to wear it as a coat of arms. You know what I'm saying? We got to change the narrative, man. We got to change the culture and change the narrative. And to me, that's a strength. Admitting that you need some help. You know what I mean? Things of that sort. Being able to express yourself in a way that men don't usually get to. I think not being afraid to express yourself just because you're supposedly be masculine. That's a strength. You know what I mean? So it's
but you like in this society, you not masculine if you expressing yourself. You understand what I'm saying?
We're trying to change that.
They saying that if a man tell you that something hurt his feelings or something went crazy, like, you can't tell people that, man. Not you can't. Sometimes you can't even tell the people that's in your circle that.
Right.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Because they're gonna look at you. They're gonna look at you in a whole different way. Like, wait a minute, I thought you was this.
That's
right.
You understand what I'm saying?
There's niggas I used to run the streets with the weapons, man. I could cry on their shoulder, and and these dudes are straight goons. I could cry on their shoulder. So I hear what you're saying. That's why we gotta change the narrative, man. We gotta really, because a lot of things that we feel we don't have in our community, we do. You know what I'm saying? And
like what? Like what?
For one, there's more outlets for black men to express it. A lot of the things you're going through, there's more outlets for black men to express that. They got different programs for those of us that might not be rich like Robbie and shit. You know what I'm saying? To help.
I'm not rich.
I'm messing with you. They got They got programs that help fathers. They got all types of job centers and things like that. But there's more help now for the black man than there was before. But I understand what you're saying. I just think there's more help out there now. But we have to go seek it out, man. We gotta push, man.
See, here's the thing, and we'll wrap it up. A lot of the shit that I'm talking about, it don't cost a lot of money. We just don't know about it. Mm-hmm. It don't cost much to have a will. It don't cost much to get a trust in your name. Because if you just have a will,
we don't got that right now, man.
I'm not saying that. I'm just talking in general. I'm talking.
Nah, no doubt.
You know what I'm saying?
For me, I think, you know, like, obviously we want to have money where we can,
right,
you know, move things
it
around.
Don't require that
and make things happen.
But it don't require that.
For me, man, And I keep on saying it, man. I missed out on that relationship,
Right.
that bond.
That's
man.
what's important to
you.
you.
Understand what I'm saying? Like again, you could be broke without a legacy, but your kids love you, man.
Absolutely.
Your kids understand that.
Absolutely.
But when they already got a narrative about you,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean, that somebody been pounding in their head or whatever, and then the minute that you do something that resemble what people been pounding in their head,
Mm-hmm.
they're gonna go with what they supposedly know already.
You gotta keep,
So it's
showing others.
nah, yo.
That's-
Listen,
but
I ain't
that-
on that. I'm
but
not.
that's
I'm
why I
not
said.
on that.
But that's why I said a legacy is important, because a lot of us did miss some things. That's what I'm saying. Look, the only thing you got left is that.
Listen, and like I said last week on the show, man. Like, listen, if I can change any decisions that I made involving not being close to my youngins, I would do it. However, that wasn't the case, man. So I'm not.
Right.
I can't sit here and go.
You can't go back.
I'm gonna keep on trying to do this.
Right.
That's like a crackhead chasing a high.
Absolutely.
You understand what I'm saying? It's back. It go back to what I said, man. I got to get my shit together,
Right.
and build a resources for them where
Mm-hmm.
like that door is open all the time for you. But in terms of, you know, I didn't lay in the bed. I ain't lay in the bed with you. I ain't burp you.
Right.
I ain't go to your prom. I ain't go to your first baseball game. I ain't go to none of your graduations.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So that when you, and it goes back to what I said, when you go back to when you learn how to move without somebody, without being in jail, man. Like you in jail, that's like
But
being in jail is like watching who gonna come to your funeral.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Like you have to forget about the world, man. Unless you got
That's-
people that's gonna really invest their time in you
that's
while
why
you
I
locked
said it
up.
depends.
You got to forget about that.
Everybody's different, man.
You
Yo,
get-
any last? Oh, I'm sorry.
No.
No, it's-
Yeah, it's been an interesting show, to say the least.
I think it was a good show, man.
It was
in terms of what we talked about. I think
Yeah.
we got to
We need to have more round tables like this anyway.
Yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? This is the type of shit that we need to talk about and get understanding from each other.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you know, a lot of shit I talk about is different because my experience is different.
So listen, I'm of the mindset, man. Like,
We can all learn from each other, though.
yep. I the way I grew up, man. I learned how to just mind my business.
Yeah,
And you know, the shirt says it. Minding my own black business.
there you go. Black owned.
Yeah, done by my daughter. You know what
Right.
I mean, my daughter got a clothing line, Finesse Clothing. Hit her up.
See,
She do clothing. You know what I mean?
she got a logo. We'll put it on the screen next week.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna bring it. So, but you know, it's to me, like, what I harp about again is that the relationships that I missed, the bonds that I missed, building those things up with those people, man, and again, if I could change it, I would.
Yeah, the only time you should look back is to check and see how far you came from, how far you've come. Know what I mean? Like everything is for a time. Like trust me, just like we were saying up here, some of us didn't really grow and know ourselves till we was like 30 and 40 and things like that. Just that alone gives you indication that you
Okay, so let me just address Hanshika because I see a comment out here I want to address. So you saying if you leave your kids with money and companies and things that makes a good legacy, this is what kids supposed to remember you by, what you left them just asking. No, not the only thing that they will remember you by, but it's one thing that I think that should be required. Too many of us grew up broke. Why did we grow up broke? Because our parents didn't leave us shit. Why didn't our parents leave us shit? Because they didn't know.
grew up broke. A lot of kids grew up.
A lot of kids
in
grew up.
happy homes. Their parents ain't leave them shit, but a legacy of love that they could pass down.
Cut the bullshit.
Nah, come on, man.
No,
This is-
stop. Don't try to minimize my shit.
Nah,
No.
not at all, man.
Don't try to
Not at all.
minimize. Here's what I'm saying.
'Cause
Fuck
I'm
off.
not-
No.
I didn't say nothing against that.
No, because we need to have this conversation because all that shit is cool. That's just like saying a nigga who work at McDonald's is a high value man. And
Nah,
all I gotta do is love my bitch and she'll love me. No,
Nah.
no, leave your kids some fucking money.
Of course.
All right then. That's it. They'll
what I'm
remember
saying
who you.
is
They'll
that-
remember who you are. They'll love. You're supposed to have
How
that.
much money did Martin Luther King leave black people? How much money did Malcolm
Wait,
X
now
leave
I'm glad
black
you
people?
brought that up.
Kids.
How much did they leave us, black people? Their
I-
legacy's still going on, right? They left stuff. Their legacy living in me. I ain't even meet that man. I ain't meet neither
But
one of
nobody
them.
who know Martin Luther King and Malcolm X will know you. Know you. You know who will know you? Your fucking kids.
Yo. And it's still, they could know me whether I leave them $1 million or I leave them knowing how to love themselves and love the people that surround them and with positivity and wisdom. So don't get me wrong saying that these things are also important too. Don't leave these things out. That's not me saying
Wealth in our community is important.
That's not me saying that's not the only important thing in our community. Because
The reason why a lot of shit is going down in our communities because we don't know how to build wealth.
that's one thing, but we also suffer from
Money is the
emotional
answer.
trauma.
The good book says money is the answer to all things. The Bible says that. It also says money is the root of all evil, but there's another scripture that says money is the answer to all things. My pastor just preached about it on Sunday.
That's a fact.
Listen, hold on, listen.
That's
So
a
you're
fact.
saying all love and no, okay.
The way you even portraying it is wrong. Because basically what you're saying is, because I'm saying that these other things is important, I'm not saying that leaving a legacy for your kids, that ain't no big deal. No, what I'm saying is you basically, when I said what makes a man strong, first thing you came out with is legacy.
So
leave
what?
Something for your kids. Leave something for your kids.
That's my perspective.
That's your perspective, but that don't really have nothing to do with strength.
That's
bro.
your perspective.
No, look it up. It has nothing to do with strength. Try to show me where leaving some money in your will has to do with strength.
It's
I'm
bigger
talking
than
about
a legacy is more than leaving money, more than your will.
Attributes deal more with personal and things that you have, not so much with things that you.
Well,
actions.
you talking to somebody that's active in my children's lives.
Yeah.
You talking to somebody that kids love them.
Yeah.
You talking to somebody that I love my kids.
Straight like that.
That is why do I need to say what the fuck that is? I live that. Like McDonald's
could.
make fries. Hold on, I live that. Like
Yeah.
McDonald's make fries.
Yeah.
I don't have to say what that is because I already live that.
No doubt.
I have the respect of my children. Now that I have the respect of my children, if I died right now, them kids would be hell bent crazy. All right, they know I love them.
Here you go.
They know I'll move the fucking bread seat for them. If my girl called me right now and say I need to,
so
they
you
know
telling
that.
me-
So what I'm saying is, when I say make a legacy, all that other shit is already there.
Exactly. So you trying to tell me with what you just said? You telling me that everything you said about how your kids feel about you, they feel about you because they know you're gonna leave them a legacy, right? Which I know is not true. And if you wasn't able to leave them a legacy, the way they feel about you is gonna change. The love they feel for you.
That's
is gonna
not
change.
what I'm saying.
I'm just asking you.
No,
a
that's
simple
not.
question. That is what you're saying.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Basically, you're saying this.
I'm not
because
saying. I'm saying it's important to Robbie Day
that's
that I
fine.
leave a financial legacy for my
It's
children.
important to me that I exercise and take care of myself. But if you ask me, do I love my kids if they exercise? And that's a whole different story. If you decide to leave your kids a legacy, that's great. That might make you a responsible father. But when I'm talking about what attributes of
To me, being a
what makes
responsible
strong
father
black
is the best man I could be. That's my
What-
opinion. That's why I take that serious.
You're supposed to be a responsible father. That's not an attribute.
Strong-
You're supposed to be.
A strong black man to me is being resourceful.
No, that's one of them. That's one of the things.
Like, you got to be resourceful. If you're not
Yeah.
resourceful, man, I'll feel crazy if I can't figure something out. If I can't help, like if somebody come to me and ask for help and I can't help them, I feel bad. Like I need to have the resources. I'm one of those people. I need people to depend on me,
Oh
man.
yeah, no doubt.
You understand what I'm saying? Like, I need to put myself in a position where people that's in my circle and the people that I want to fuck with is gonna be alright, man.
No doubt.
You're welcome, Hashika. Hanshika. That's how you say your name. You're welcome. Yeah, I just think it's a battle of perspectives, and our perspectives don't have to be wrong. My perspective versus
what
your
makes it a
perspective
perspective.
versus your perspective. I'm coming from. I grew up with lack. I grew up with nothing. Right? I don't want my kids to grow up that way. That's important to me. I don't want to. The way I'm living now, I work hard to have the living that I live. Yeah. And I worked hard. I went to school. I did what I had to do to make myself competitive in the corporate world. That's just what I did because I didn't want to grow up with nothing. So that's important to me. That is being a man, handling your business and leaving and making sure that you are not creating a mess for your children when you leave out of here.
But that's not the opposite of creating a legacy. You either create a legacy, you leave them in a mess. That's not the opposite. They're not polar opposites. The way you're describing is if you don't leave them this, you're leaving them in a mess.
That's not what I said.
I think it's important that you leave them something where they can.
I don't know why he think I'm not saying that. I don't know why he's missing that.
No, I'm not missing nothing. I'm just saying like that's just me.
Because I'm not disagreeing with you.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is this is one thing and this is the other. That's all I'm saying. Like I didn't want to get caught up in, that's what makes a black man strong. That he left some legacy for his kids. He left some money for his kids or business for his kids. That's a great thing to do as a father, businessman, all that stuff. But that doesn't necessarily make a man strong.
That's
the only thing that
I disagree.
I'm gonna go back to
telling your kid. Somebody said it. Telling your kid you love them is not enough.
What that got to do with what make a black man strong?
Because that's our problem.
What?
A lot of our problem was, look, y'all grew up without a fucking father. Y'all sitting here up here, you telling me your situation. Now I grew up with my dad, but I grew up without my mom. You get it? What does that mean? We grew up without a particular parent in our life.
And that's huge.
And that's huge.
That's huge.
So if you hold up. So what I'm saying is you're asking me. So my thing is what's important to me is I don't want my kids to grow up that way. And if they do, at least I left them something where they said, you know what, my father did care about me. He loved me. That's important to me. That's a man to me. And you can't achieve that without being all of those other things.
And even if it's not true that you didn't love him, it gives the appearance that you do.
They'll be like, well, he took
like he did this, he left me this.
Yo.
Like he actually left me this.
Again, man, y'all getting it totally.
Now I'm not saying what you. I'm just
not saying
like,
what you're saying is wrong.
Yeah.
Your focus is just different than my focus.
And
that's okay.
And I might just to clarify. My dad might not have been in my life my whole life, but I ain't grow up without my father. He just was in and out, and we had a complex. But I ain't grow up without my dad.
Okay, I mean,
definitely knew my dad growing up.
Relative.
I just want to be clear.
Yeah.
That's what spirit and all that.
Yeah.
I ain't looking down on my child.
Yeah. No, that's what's up. Yeah. No, okay. But I'm just saying, we had issues. We had a lot of issues with our parents.
My father not being there.
Exactly.
In different parts of my life, I missed out on a lot of things. I get it, but I would have loved if he would have left me some money. I'd have loved it. But you know what?
Exactly.
You know what? I left here. Now, the relationship is different. That's why I say it depends on what things are. If you always been with your kids and they always knew that you love them, of course something like that would be like, that's regular. But if like with him, if you missed out on things with your kids and you were able to turn that around, that's something different.
How could you turn around something you missed though? Like that's important. You can't turn that around. Like the example that I just now gave you is like.
Why can't you turn it around? Why not?
What you mean turn it around? You missed it already.
You missed it.
No, it's not. I'm not talking about turn back time.
But I'm talking about
something around is different.
I'm talking about the bond and the relationship that you build by being in them important places that they are.
Yo,
so when you miss those things at an early stage, like you missed graduation, you missed prom, you wasn't there to talk about their first boyfriend, their first girlfriend. Those little things right there.
That might not be as important to them as you feel that.
But you saying Mike, but in reality, emotionally, like I can even go back to me, like all the baseball, football, and boxing matches I had, my mom never came. Everybody cheered for me in the crowd, and my mom never came. I can't stand that. Like even now. Exactly. So the same way you said you missed that and I can't go back. Why you still going? Why you still feel a certain way about your mom's way back then? You know what I'm saying? No, I don't.
Let me explain it. You as a grown man, right? Mm-hmm. You just said it yourself. You still that that whole thing that happened with no one being here to get, it made you feel a certain type of way,
Yeah.
a certain type of way that you still feel now.
Absolutely.
Right?
That's the trauma.
Boom. So my thing is this: if right now, at this age, it still means something. You don't care that it, I don't care if she wasn't there. It still means something.
It'll be a lie if I said that.
Right? Boom. Why don't you think for adult kids it's the other way around? Why you don't think that the same way that was then and this is now? Why don't think it'd be the same way? And that's what I mean about turning around. Not turning back time, but turning around. If you at one time showed that you wasn't reliable, showing that you reliable, going extra hard. If you wasn't there, going extra hard to show that you there. Even if it's a phone call.
But I'm gonna
those things are.
Listen, I'm gonna make people mad, man. Cause
don't make nobody mad.
listen, I'm not going. I'm here.
Right.
I'm not going. I'm going hard and getting my shit together.
Right.
Yeah, I could be. I only can help them if my shit together.
Exactly.
I'm not. I done did that. I done kicked in doors to be with my kids. I done went to jail to be with my kids. I did that already. You understand what I'm saying? Like now I'm on like, all right, let me get my shit together, man, and I'm gonna be a valuable resource to not just my kids, to their moms too. You understand what I'm saying?
You do that, you're not just gonna hang back and don't do nothing.
No, but I ain't doing that. That's not what I'm doing. But I'm saying I'm here.
He's working toward. He's
I'm
working toward the goal
here.
of what he's
Like,
trying to do.
Again, I'm not going to chase a high. I'm here. Like what you want me to do? I'm
I
here.
don't think I can relate. It's just me. Like, nothing against nobody. It's only me. I'm still mad guard. There's only certain persons I'm getting online and say. So, don't think I can relate because I don't lay stuff out. You know what I'm saying? I hear where you coming from, and that's a goal. That's a very important goal. But I just wanted to give the men a chance to speak on what makes a strong black man, because we started out with our perspectives on what makes a strong black woman. And none of us was talking too much about the woman making money for the kids, because a lot of them is doing that already. We wasn't talking about women hustling because a lot of them is hustling already. But when we describe those attributes, we put those attributes to ourselves to make us strong. So what I wanted to do was give us a chance to attributes, not saying, yo, I got this, what's your attribute as a strong man? Shh, I'm rich, nigga, and my kid's gonna be rich when I die. Whoa, that's awesome. I said, what are your attributes of a strong
I never said
man?
that.
I didn't say that. But I'm saying that anybody,
By any stretch of the imagination. Well, here's what I'm saying. We are
know what
men.
I'm saying?
When a woman dates you,
Here we
nigga.
go. Now we're gonna get into dating.
Hold on.
When
When you look at what a value of a man is, what is the hold on.
I said strong black.
Okay,
man don't
all
got
right.
nothing with your
Yes, it does
financial
have.
value.
Yes, it has everything to do with
It don't
that.
have everything to do.
It should.
Nah, it
should.
Respect. That's your opinion, but
It should. When
okay.
when a woman dates you,
Now you're talking about women.
Hold
dating.
up, no.
That's the only part about being a black man dating.
I'm
You
just
stay with this.
What are you talking
You
about?
stay in these little.
Okay,
boxes, man.
when
You gotta get out these
people
boxes.
think about the value of a man, the first thing they look at is what do they do for work?
What's his resources?
What's his resources? And if he doesn't have a job, does he have a means to be because the first thing we need to be is resourceful. We need to be resourceful for our women, and we need to be
you're
resourceful.
teaching me
We need to be
nothing
resourceful
right
for our
now.
kids. So I don't give a fuck if
Okay.
what I'm teaching you, but what I'm telling you,
me know.
hold up. But what I'm telling you is this. What I'm telling you is this. Men are looked at as what they can provide, period.
No,
The Bible says if you don't work, you don't eat.
We ain't gonna get into religion right now.
I'm not getting into religion. I'm just trying to get shit to make my point.
I
Listen,
can tell you
a
who's
man-
saying 50 laws of power too, and a couple Donald Goying books. So you know what I'm saying?
But a man definitely need to have resources.
You got to be
man.
resourceful.
Yo, hold on. First of all, let me make it clear, man, because y'all not hearing me. I ain't not one time said on this.
Nigga, you sitting here contradicting yourself.
Nah, you wildin'. I
You contradicting yourself.
I ain't contradiction yet.
Because you're making additives, like bringing up the thing. Oh, if you're rich and your
So
kids
how's
are rich,
where's
that's
that
not what I
contradiction?
said.
I'm very literal, so you can't just.
But
say
that's not what I said.
It's not a contradiction.
That
That's
is
why
a
people think I be
contradiction.
arguing because that's not contradiction. Yo, this is all y'all need to understand. Just because I didn't claim financial legacy as something that makes a man strong, that does not mean that I don't believe in that. It doesn't mean I'm not seeking the same thing. It doesn't mean I'm not working for the same thing. It doesn't mean I don't know that.
You're acting
men
offended as if I brought it up, as if I'm saying money is everything. That's not what I
I'm not
said.
offended, not at all, sir.
You're acting offended.
No, not at all, sir. I think that you just acting offended.
I'm not acting offended.
Solo, weigh in. But we ain't gonna go there. That's another show. Fighting words, right? Nah, for real. I think that you, because I didn't agree with what you saw as strength because you described the money.
No, you asked me what my perspective of, and then you minimized my perspective and
Not
said,
at all,
"I'm
sir.
not." Hold up. And then you said, and I quote, "Yeah, but that's not the attributes I'm talking about." But you asked me what my perspective was. Did he not say that? Okay, and that's all I'm saying.
Perspective.
My perspective is different than your perspective.
If
Money
I ask you,
is important to me.
no doubt. But if
It
I
might
ask
not
you,
be important to you, and that's fine. But money
See,
and leaving shit for my kids is
the fact
important to
that
me.
you even getting that shows that you did not hear me.
That's not what I look. It's my focus. You're saying that love and the attributes of loyalty and everything else is your focus. That's not saying that.
I didn't say that's my focus.
Yes,
What I
you
said
did.
Was this. No, this is what I said.
Jesus.
I basically said
Last
that-
point, and then we out.
I basically said that you were focusing. I'm not gonna make my point to the. I'm not gonna make my last point. Debating. I'm gonna make my last point like this. There's a lot of things in our community that we need to fix. A lot of things we need to do. As strong black men, there are many quote unquote attributes. But I just feel like it's way more that we can leave than money. Not to say that we
Shit.
man,
Not nothing that's
you
important.
bugging, man.
Not nothing that's important.
You can't just because
Not nothing that's important.
Listen, you getting up here just because I don't believe as strongly as you believe that I just believe.
No.
it. My kids know I love them.
You made a statement, and I'm just saying.
You just
I
wanted
disagree.
to talk about business and leaving kids a legacy. I was talking about the same way we asked about women, what made them strong. We didn't go off on none of them about the women taking care of the kids with money. We didn't talk about none of that when we was talking about the
Because
black
men are known by
When it
with
came
money
to
and
us,
resources.
when it
Yeah.
came- It's not just about money. Men are supposed to be resourceful, but that's the same thing that's the same laws they follow that say men ain't supposed to cry. And how can you look down on and criticize that and not criticize the people? You know what I mean? The people that believe that men are supposed to make the money.
I know. After this conversation, man, and I'm striving to be the man that I envision myself to be.
There you go.
You understand what I'm saying? Like
Right.
I don't care what other people say what a man is. Like I said, like I need people to depend on me. I need to put myself in a position where people feel comfortable with depending on me.
Right.
So that to me that's my focus in being a man. Like I need that's what my whole business is about.
Right. Exactly.
You know what I mean? I'm coach.
Right.
Like coach gonna get it right.
Right.
People depend on me to get right.
Right.
So I put myself in that line of fire of how I want people to like the things that I miss doing all the bullshit. I put myself in a position where I can make that up now. You ask me how I make it up, I'm making it up by giving in the community, doing what I do in the community.
Right, exactly.
You know what I mean?
That's a legacy.
I tore the community down. I tore it down back then.
So
Now I feel it's my responsibility
build it back up.
to build it back
My
up.
legacy in the community go back like 25 years. Just so my legacy is already here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like my legacy is already here, man. So, but still, there's still other things that you can put out. But, legacy is about a lot of things, man. It's all good, man.
Everybody, thank you for staying up with us for this 2 hours that we went over for like a whole 45 minutes. But thank you for joining us. We'll be right back here next week between 8 and 8:30, 8:30, 9 o'clock, whichever one
Appreciate
works out.
Nah, folks, this is we just working on a few bugs, so we definitely gonna be on time. We're gonna have this better structure for you guys. We're still working on a few things.
Yeah, we definitely gonna have
Have some
better.
patience with us as we all move.
But we definitely 10 toes down on this shit right here.
That's
Like,
right.
You know what I mean?
We
Like,
definitely 10
like,
tone.
we gonna improve it. It's gonna get better. We gonna have more topics, engaging topics, and do a little bit more homework.
Light that shit up, man. Light that shit up.
You right here, man. Except put the lights on, man.
Put the lights on. Good night, everybody.
Appreciate everybody
Appreciate y'all
that
coming
showed
through.
up, man. Come support us, man. Press the likes, press the share buttons, man. Appreciate you, man. Coach Solo, we signing out.
Yeah, fighting words.
Newman kicking the